And here we are walking down the path to swim in, and it's about a 5-minute walk down this path. And as you can see, there's some cracks in the pavement. They weren't here 3 years ago, was the Gabriel? They weren't here 3 years ago, those cracks were there. This is one of my favourite parts of the street, like, isn't it, Gabriel? This little bit here where there's a few cars dotted about, but they probably won't be here if you come. And you know, if you've got young children, they'll probably like looking at that tree over there, won't they? Young children like looking at the trees, don't they? And then there's a little path, and you can walk along this as if that's the path, can't you? Like in the little discoloured bit, and that's sometimes fun, isn't it? Yeah, bro, if you do that. Yeah. And then you can see, I never quite know what these big things that are, you know, a big patch of concrete that's just been put in there to fill an hole. And then there's a lamp post, and it's a design that comes from...
You know the history of this?
Yeah.
It was built in 1950.
They were built in 1950, yeah, that's right. Some of these houses are probably even older than that. And that bin over there is quite contemporary though, isn't it, Gabriel, the bin?
Yeah.
And then one of the great things about this road is that you've got a little sneaky alleyway you can see just coming up here. And you can go down that alleyway and you're onto a main road.
And you know, this alleyway was built in the 1950s, the same as the road.
Yes, but even though the road was built in the 1950s, that lamppost up there comes from a 1973 design that was signed off by Sir Roger Chisholm in Parliament. It had a bit of resistance from the Liberals Party as they wanted to keep the old design, but it got through in the end. I think there's a certain amount of filibustering as well from the opposition benches, but it got there in the end, and that's why we have the lamppost that we have today. Anything else to add to this video, Gabriel, before we go down this alleyway? It's an alleyway, if you've got young children who like kicking stones about, it's a great alleyway for that. And you can hear it quite near a main road, so that, you know, might wake you up at night, and there's some more stones being kicked into fences, yeah. And then there's a car repair shop off at the road.
No, this house here, there's right next to main road, costs like $20,000.
Probably a little bit more than that, actually.
Yeah. Maybe like 300 or something.
Maybe
I also built in the night.
Somewhere in between those
I also
values,
built in 1982.
So here we are in an industrial estate next to some blue doors, yeah, and it's very well kept. It's very well kept, isn't it?
So what
this
we're going to do when we get to that holiday park?
And yeah, we're a long way off the holiday park, but we are in an industrial estate, which is just as exciting. And you can see that you can let Unit 4A.
What am I going to do when we get there, dude?
Oh no, we don't worry about getting there, do we? Look, it's 2,092 square feet, which is a lot of square footage, isn't it, Ian? You not think? And then we've got some water cooler bottles over there. That's an important part of any process of going to a holiday park, isn't it? You know, you need lots of water. Vintage windows. Now, they do reasonable rates. I can't tell you all about all their price points, but I'm sure Gabriel can give it, can't you? What's the...
No.
And then we've got a pile of wood over here, again, another pile of wood. And a pile of wood there. And then a bin full of cardboard that we perhaps could make into a replica of the corn exchange at some point. What do you think of that idea?
Oh, yeah.
We could do that, that'd be good, wouldn't it?
Yeah, could do that.
And then they're building something over there, so when we come back again in 3 years, we'll be able to say, oh look, that's what we saw last time, won't we? That's what we'll be.
Yes! I'm just going to be 7. And that means I'm going to be 10 and you're going to be 50,000.
And then you can see that there's no path here. There's a path on that side, but there's no path at this side. So that's something that I've sent the council many letters about, haven't I, Gabriel, asking them why that is. Where the path starts here rather than over there. Yeah. So here we go.
Well, I mean, if they built it over here, I guess they would run out of concrete because they're replicating that, and then there won't be a road on that.
Yeah, I didn't think of that. And you can see you can get your electric vehicle charging there from 695, solar panels 2,335, battery storage 1,600. That's all high volt, very good, ain't you? You could value that round here.
That is not good value. But what we're gonna do when we get there?
Get where? Where are we going here?
To the holiday park.
Oh, we're a long way off the holiday park here, but look at this. It's
But
the
what
C&M have a high security here, don't they? Here, look at that.
Okay, so we're gonna go in the swimming pool when we're at the holiday park.
Oh yeah, we can do that if you want.
Yeah.
Well, let's look at this parking notice though. Let's look at this parking notice first.
Yeah.
Yeah, don't worry, viewers, we'll show you the swimming pool later, but at the moment we're looking at all the yellow signs associated with the parking notice. So that's what people want to see when they're watching a holiday video, isn't it? They want to see the parking instructions. And you can see that sign's fallen over. It hadn't fallen over 3 years ago, had it, Gabriel? It was still standing up.
Yeah.
Still standing up 3 years ago.
Yes.
And then there's a dog shop there if you want to bring your dog on holiday with you. And then this is a road, so we've got to look both ways, haven't we? And then look both ways again, just to double check. And then you look that way, and then this way this time, to make sure that you've not missed anything. And then you look again and again, and then you start thinking about crossing the road. And what Gabriel's doing there is running, which isn't what you're supposed to do. You're supposed to walk very casually across, and then you're supposed to look at this piece of litter and speculate on how long it's been there, and who put it there, and whether it's been there since about 1953. Well, Gabriel's now kicking that litter. I don't know why he's doing that. It's paper though, so it's okay. It'll degenerate in a normal, natural way. And then we've got napkins as well on the floor. Few napkins, or other baby wipes. I think there might be baby wipes. And then we've got the top of a Pringle lid there. I don't know if you can see that. So there's a lot of rubbish around here, but the path's very clear, isn't it? Very clear, not overgrown. So that's very good. And now we're coming to the park, which is a bit difficult. If you've got young children who want to go to Starbucks and they're in this car park, then how they're going to get across, Gabriel? Because, there's cars in the way, there's a hedge in the way. And Gabriel's going to show you, just in case you come here with children exactly the same size as him, how you can get through. That's it. You walk along the mud, you walk past that lamp post, where there's bricks in the road, and it's the Chisholm style lamp post from earlier, if you remember that. And then there's a car there that's got some frontage missing. But what Gabriel's going to show you now is that look, there's a little gap in the trees, and again you have to look both ways, don't you, Gabriel? On the on this, look, there's that way, and then there's that way, and you look that way again, and then you look that way again. And look, there's been a car every time, haven't there? And then you look that way, and then you say, "Come on, Gabriel, let's go, Gabriel." I don't know how we did that. And then we've got a Starbucks here. Now it's a very reasonably priced Starbucks, and when I say reasonably priced, what I mean is it's the same price as every other Starbucks. And nice seats outside. And it's a great view from about there if you sit playing Angry Monkeys or whatever it is, and then you look out the window and you can see some shops. Yeah.
Yeah, I can see the hot tub.
Yeah, the hot tub shop.
You go
And then,
Dad.
Yeah.
You go that way. Do there. No, Dad. You go that way. I'll meet you.
oh, okay. And got some nice little flowers with a glass in the middle of it. Very good. And we've got salt grit, I think. I think we might have some grit salt. I think it's supposed to be salt. And then we can go through another little gap. If you've got a child exactly the same size as Gabriel, that will work for him. And then we can carry on going this way, because there's a wall, isn't there, Gabriel, this way. There's a wall that we can go on and have a little walk, and that's a lot of fun. That's a lot of fun. That's more fun than being at a holiday park. And there he goes, he's on the wall. And it's a 2-step up to the wall. And he's now singing The Little Big Planet theme tune, maybe? Don't know. We got to a traffic light. I don't know if you can see that there traffic light. I don't know why you'd be doing that to a traffic light, but you know, who knows. There's plenty of cars in there, and that's the Audi shop. Audi, one of these here. One of the manufacturers from the car industry that has been going for a number of years. I don't know if any of you remember the Audi Cup from a few years ago, friendly tournament. And that's where there used to be an inflatable sign, isn't it, Gabe? A big inflatable Toyota thing. And then look, we've got this sign here, haven't we? Churchill Road. Well, someone has changed the O to a Q. Now, what do you think of all that? You don't spell road with a Q. That's Le Flag. Trap car.
This is a post.
Sorry?
Trap car. He's a lamppost. He's a lamppost.
He's a lamppost? What do you mean he's a lamppost?
A lamppost. Look. It's this and it's built in 2020.
Come on then, let's go.
I don't know, this road was built in 2023. I just got playing a track in 2025.
Oh, yeah.
Anyway, that was a year ago. Where was 2026?
And there, over there is the alleyway we came from. So we've gone full circle now, haven't we? And we'll be back as soon as we're back.